This channel officially has a Discord server. Feel free to join. Link in the description. Hello everyone, this is Witchy Words, a podcast about the manga and hopefully anime Majo Taisen, the War of Greedy Witches. Now, it's been a bit since I've made an episode, I'm aware. Life has been busy, but I am here, I have some time. I'm going to cover the next round, and it is something that's going to be a little bit surprising for those who don't know what to expect. I have read this round before. It's been a while though, so I'm a little iffy on the details. With now 29 witches remaining, they move on. Some people are still in shock about Cleopatra losing to Himiko. Himiko still laying in the middle of the ring, just kind of exhausted, understandably, after all of the punishment she took. And one dude is kind of freaking out because he sort of bet everything on Cleopatra winning, and now he's worried about being a worm in the next life. Don't be so worried, bro. There are worse things to be. Honestly, with a worm, you can just kind of chill underground, you can dig tunnels, you can eat, just avoid the surface, and, don't get picked up by a bird. And I think your life is going to be just fine. Or, you should avoid little kids. Little kids like to torture worms for some reason. I never did. I love worms. But yeah, don't worry about it, bro. Worm ain't too bad. They go on to explain how Himiko's fly ability sort of works in more detail, and how Himiko was able to navigate and use that ability to its fullest to take down the number one queen to win, Cleopatra. The guides of the witches are understandably a little bit miffed at the fact that so many of them have died, and one of them even threatens to go on a strike, which, understandable. You should get a lot more benefits if death is really something that is considerably on the line. And then we are introduced to a tiny boy demon guide, and we see Mary, the Witch of the Sea, Mary Reed. All pirate fans, stand the hell up, because Mary Reed is officially here. She is a very big, strong, looming figure, very similar to Thrud from Record of Ragnarok Round 5, if you remember that Valkyrie. And another pirate lady comes out and tells her, hey, you're kind of too scary. But Mary Reed does the blank face with the glowing eyes, and she lunges and grabs the demon boy and hugs him because he is just so adorable. And she says how fun it will be to sail with him. So she got a nice heart, and she's like, you need to get on my boat when this tournament is over, and we're gonna go sailing. It is revealed that the other pirate lady Mary Reed is talking to is named Annie. Her dream is that she wants to go sailing with Annie once more, and she talks about how she's going to win this whole tournament, and she's going to go sailing with Annie again. And I now imagine that she would want this tiny, tiny little boy demon to join them on their cruise. But it's revealed that Annie isn't real, just a figment of Mary's imagination. She's a little cuckoo in the head, but that's okay. She's still very lovable, but yeah, she has an imaginary friend that she very much believes is real, talking to her. And it seems that Annie is a different personality of Mary. So Mary in the physical world is one body, but in her mind she is two. One half Mary, the other half Annie. And then we are introduced to the next witch, the Witch of Secrets. It is Mata Hari. She's going through what sort of look like trophies of people she's previously killed, similar to a serial killer. And she's talking about how, oh, this was a German dude, this was a French politician, and she's curious who will enter the next world. Mata Hari is officially in the tournament. It is Mata Hari versus Mary Reed. Lilitu announces the next match starting, and from the west, in comes Mary Reed. It is revealed that Mary Reed is ranked 24th, in the hierarchy of the witches, and she's looking around. She believes she sees Annie with her, but of course the crowd doesn't see Annie at all, because Annie is a figment of Mary's imagination. And then from the east, of course, is Matahari. We see some very, very interesting drawings depicting the First World War, talking about how over 70 million soldiers have been deployed. World War I really was the turning point of the 20th century. And, man, I love the background that they give, and I love, don't get me wrong, I love Majo Taisen's art style, but I love especially when they go into the backgrounds of these characters and show, like, the sort of realistic, almost photographic imagery style that shows up, and I just absolutely love it, love it, love it. She is ranked 14th. Someone in the crowd talks about how cute she is, and yes, she is very, very pretty. But they're both pretty. They're both pretty, 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 pretty witches. And I know there are some guys out there that don't like muscular women, or think muscular women are unattractive, or that, muscular women, they look like men, it's unattractive. I say those people are just fucking weak. If you think a woman having muscles is unattractive, I'm sorry to be the one to break it to you, but you are weak. Your bloodline is weak, and you will not survive the winter. And in an emergency situation, I'm afraid you will be the first to be eaten. Mary Reed is a very good sport, busting out the Diego Montoya from The Princess Bride, being like, you ready to fight? Like, are you sure you're ready? Like, we gotta make sure you're ready for this. I don't know, And Matahari is like, yeah, no, we're good. Yeah, we're ready. Let's go. And then she says, I've missed you. And it's like, what the hell are you talking about? We get a beautifully drawn panel of Mary Reed going into sort of a typhoon sort of spinning effect of water, a water tornado, like a whirlpool sort of thing. And I think it looks very, very nice, and she sort of does the whole, magical girl transformation with Annie to form her fighting combat outfit. And it looks pretty dope, she's got an anchor, she's got the skulls on her, knee pads. I think she looks awesome. The magic vestment is called the Twin Cat Pirates. And then the manga author was like, whoa, 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 this is all cool and all, but where's our number one? Where's our main girl? And we go back to Joan of Arc. And the nurse is like, oh my god, look at you, you got new clothes, you look so pretty. And Joan of Arc looks up at the screen and is like, oh wow, that's Mary Reed's vestment. That looks really cool. I think that's awesome. But while she's in the middle of admiring Mary Reed's vestment, the nurse is still dancing, and one of the demons comes in and is like, yo, you gotta move the people you've already healed out. You gotta make way, because we need you to heal Himiko, who is still messed up a little bit. And we even see a little funny face. A little funny face from Himiko. She kind of looks like Froppy from My Hero. At least that's what it reminds me of, with the eyes. I don't know if that's the image I will use for the thumbnail, but I think it looks really, really funny. And Himiko is a good sport, like, hey, you're Joan of Arc, I saw your match, good luck next time, and make sure you win. And then Himiko says, you're an easy one to fool, I'll give you that. And then when it's just Himiko and the nurse, Himiko bursts into tears because she is in so much pain. And I feel bad for her, want to give her lots of hugs and head pats. And the nurse is like, oh, this is great, you're in so much pain. And Himiko's probably like, god damn it, just heal me already. And what we notice is Joan of Arc stops and is like, it's round 4 going on, but it's kind of quiet. And then we go to the next page, and Matahari has stabbed out Mary Reed's heart. Her heart is on attack. She just stabbed her. Just like that. And then Matahari rips out her fucking heart. Like Kano from Mortal Kombat just rips out her heart. And Matahari's like, You thought you knew everything. I'm gonna show you the world. She Little Mermaids her ass. And then we start chapter 19 with sort of the backstory of Anne and Mary Read. It's very cute. I love their little dynamic. It looks really, really cool. And then we go, and we're just back to where we started with Mary Read having her fucking heart ripped out by Mata Hari. That it's explained that, like, I don't know what happened. The scientist girl, I forget her name. I apologize. I'm sure she's lovely. I forget her name, but she's like, that's probably her magic that ripped out Mary Read's heart. And then it is explained, here's what happened 5 minutes ago. So we're sort of getting, here's what happened at the end. Let's figure out how we got here. Mary tells Annie that they're going to go in full throttle right from the start using their magic vestments, but Mata Hari quickly transforms into her magic vestments, and her body does the whole spinny thing, transforms, and her magic vestment is called Dancing in an Ideal World, which, I don't know, it kind of sounds like a cool song name. I think I would listen to Dancing in an Ideal World. It sounds like something that Dua Lipa would make. And the fight starts, and Mary Read is chucking out her anchor, but Mata Hari is dodging it very fluently, very elegantly, sort of like a dance. They even explain how it's kind of like a dance, but she's not fighting back, at least not yet. She's sort of just dodging Mary Read's abilities. And Mary Read is like, wow, you're really good at dodging these. And Mata's like, I'm not dodging. I'm just dancing, bro. I'm just doing my thing. And then Mary Read busts out this super badass ability. She throws an anchor on the ground, and the ground gets covered in seawater up to Mata's sort of ankle area. And then from that, a ship emerges from the back, and we get a badass panel of Mary Read standing in front of a fully black pirate ship with the Jolly Roger there, and it looks so fucking cool. I love that image. And the cannons point at Mata Hari, and they fire, and the cannonballs go flying towards Mata Hari, and it just explodes. It's just a huge burst of water, and they were like, how did you get this pirate ship here? It is incredibly powerful. But even after all of that, Mata Hari is just standing there. She dodged every bit of it, and Mary Read is not happy. She's like, all right, you know what? We're going to fire the cannons again, and this time we're not going to miss. And she calls out to Annie, and Mata Hari just appears behind her and just is like, who are you calling to? Who are you talking to? Because obviously Mary is the only one that can see Annie. Mary grabs her anchor and starts to turn around and swipe at Mata, who, of course, dodges it. But Mary Read is like, oh, I think I know who you're talking about. Anne Bonny. Like Annie Bonny. Now, what's interesting is Mary Read and Anne Bonny were indeed friends in real life. They were both female pirates, and they both served on a ship together. And it goes into the backstory of Anne and Mary Read. It shows that they were imprisoned together, of course, for piracy. But one thing I'm a little confused about is, was Annie in the prison to begin with in the first place? Because after Mary Read is counting her days, it is revealed by the guard that Anne betrayed Mary, betrayed her and left her. What I'm a little confused about was Anne in the prison at all at the beginning, or was she never there in the prison to begin with? I don't think she was in the prison to begin with, honestly, but that was just something I was a little curious about. From what I gathered, there was no betrayal in the actual history. It is true that it seems that after Mary did die in prison, Anne went on to Jamaica and died there. So they did die at different times, but I couldn't find anything about a significant betrayal. But either way, this sort of triggers Mary Reed, who gets very aggressive and throws a punch at Mata, who, of course, dodges it, and it's like Mary sort of accepts the fact that Anne is gone, but doesn't really want to act like she is. She sort of just wants to hold on to that, because being with Annie was when she didn't feel alone. And she makes one last declaration that she will stand with Annie and their ocean, and she charges in, and Matahara seemingly teleports away. Or it states that it seems like Mata wasn't even there in the first place, so it's a little confusing. I think as soon as Mary Reed figures out that she was tricked, Matahara comes in and stabs her directly in the heart. And this is kind of interesting because it seems that Matahara tells her, hey, it's cool that you figured out what the ability was, that Mata wasn't even in that position that Mary was attacking in the first place, but it was sort of too late for Mary to figure it out, because now Mary is unfortunately dead in probably the shortest fight we are going to have in this series. So I thought Mary Reed was a cool character, but ultimately similar to, spoiler alert for Record of Ragnarok round 8. No, 7. No, 8. Yeah, it's round 8. It seems that she's very similar to Tesla in that although they were cool and endearing characters, ultimately they served a narrative purpose for their opponent. Tesla's case being Beelzebub, Mary's case being Matahara. I think they are setting up something very big with Matahara. I think Matahara is, in my opinion, going to be the opponent for the final match in this series. It's sort of setting up to have it being, in my opinion, the finale being Matahara versus Joan of Arc. Of course, I could be entirely wrong. I don't know what the mangaka and the writers are doing, but in my opinion, that's what I think is going to happen. And although this fight was pretty short, we did get some good storytelling, amazing panels, and some emotional heartstring pulls, and I really like that. I think this was, although very short, I think it was a good and entertaining fight for what it was. I think it did a good job setting up Matahara as a very potential quote-unquote big bad, but I also think it did a good job in honoring Mary Reed and Anne Bowie as characters in this fictional world. What did you guys think of this round? I really want to know in the comments below. I feel like this round was something that really did divide people, depending on who they were really rooting for. But overall, I thought this round was very good, and I enjoyed it very, very much.